It warms my heart to share the New Life Festival. Wood Elf immigrants to Auradon introduced the locals of Skywatch to Mudball merriment. There are 3. Ambassadors of each alliance meet in Auradon to speak with righteous purpose.
Fewer people staring at me than I anticipated. What a strange time you live in.
Don't evade the matter.
I feel eyes say to me. Be more careful next time.
Talk.
Left us no choice.
And you know mine. Not without concessions.
All things fail.
Yet you refuse
Even
to
the
concede.
infamy of our actions.
Yet we must decide what to eat.
What is this? Control your people, Kamor. How dare you? I just bought this doublet. Two steps forward, two steps A solemn old life to you once more, friend.
Is that a bit of mud on your hands? Wonderful! Mud on the face reminds us that life is not always so self-important.
What sickness came unto our shores from across the Abyssion sea?
for something to attack, or something to protect. A potent find, Tamid. Good find, Tamid.
An outsider? Well, if this is Y'ffre's will... Come here, outsider. I fear for my wife, my Gwenaël. A group of Firesong druids attacked our home in Y'ffre's path. I managed to escape the slaughter, but Gwenaël's still in there. I tried to go back for her, but the path has grown more dangerous. Yes, outsider. Animals lash out. The spirit motes that once inspired us blanket the land in a thick fog. The spirit of the path may be injured or frightened. I do not know what the Firesong want or how they turn my home against me. The spirit of Y'ffre's path. We call it the Chronicle. We Eldertide made our home here to care for and tend to the spirit. Outsider, I'm trusting you. I'm putting my wife's safety in your hands. Help me find her, and I will see you well rewarded. The entrance to the path is just over there. I'll meet you on the steps down into the Sacred Valley. There we can find out what happened to my Gwenaël. But first, let me bless you against the dangers within. Besides the Firesong druids, the very air is thick with spirit motes. You'll see them once we enter the valley. The worst are the animals, though. They frighten me. Crocodiles, wolves, ursoks, among others. The animals in the path are usually docile. We feed them, care for them. Now they attack without provocation. For things to be so out of balance, it goes against my understanding of nature. It started after their attack. But I've never seen a druid who could control the spirit motes before. Only the Chronicle commands them, chooses when to release them, and what story they carry. I have no clue what's happening here. Ifre's Path is a sacred place, with a small community of druids to look after it. Ifre set the spirit here, the one we call the Chronicle. It shares stories with us, shows us events that happened long ago. Through the blessings of the spirit motes, Ifre is the storyteller. All of nature comes from Ifre, but so do our tales and songs. The Chronicle utilizes both aspects of its creator. Particles released by the Chronicle. Normally we breathe in the gift of the spirit and experience the story it wishes us to see. A vision, you might call it. Perfectly safe. Except I've never seen such large clouds of spirit motes before. Ifre's Path is a sacred place, with a small community of druids to look after it. Ifre set the spirit here, the one we call the Chronicle. It shares stories with us, shows us events that happened long ago. Oh, Ifre, let no overcast skies or snaring vines cloud the intention of our thoughts.
Imagine the fine attire you might make with that. A blessed bounty for potion making. Mine, Tamid!
Druid Senna saw the moat cloud form? It's like nothing I've encountered. Vitach. They're all dead. Gwenaël. She's not here. That's some small relief. We've found some troubling things outside her. We found the last notes of Druid Senna and a group of dead Eldertide. But my Gwenaël is still among the missing. What do you think, outsider? What do your non-Druid senses tell you? Yes, the Chronicle grows plants called Musemouths, which release a small amount of spirit motes when we commune with it. The motes show us the stories. They've never threatened or harmed us before, and they never appeared as great clouds either. Other than the thick concentration, I'm not sure. Druid Senna mentioned that the Fire Song caught in the fog lowered their weapons and then marched off as if in a trance. This is very strange. No, but the others all lived in our community. And from the looks of it, they were killed by the Fire Song attackers. They must have been surprised. There are no Fire Song druids among the dead. But there's also no sign of my wife. Not finding my wife could mean anything. All we know is that she's not here. She could be anywhere. But yes, let's go check the waterfalls to the north. That's where Druid Senna's note said the Fire Song druids went after the spirit motes descended. The waterfalls? I'd rather not discuss the waterfalls. That area is very private, not a place for those outside our circle. Still, if that's where the Fire Song druid went, we need to check. There were a lot of them in the raiding party. They must be somewhere. Come on. The waterfall's on the north wall of the valley. Let's keep looking.
The potential for health or harm.
Spirit motes surround the Fire Song druid. Talk to her, outsider. This won't hold her long.
Must go. Join. It calls me. The spirit of the path. It calls to us. We must go. Defend it. Protect it. Attack. Frightened. It needs us. It must be defended. Defend! Defend!
Wait! Not in there! outsider.
This wish of fresh water.
It appears that the spirit motes do more than just tell us stories, outsider. That Firesong druid's mind was clearly being influenced, if not outright controlled. But why is the Chronicle doing this? It never exhibited hostile behavior before. The blessing I bestowed upon us before we set out must be keeping the motes at bay. Given the power we just saw, I'm not sure how much longer that protection will last. I suppose you'll need to accompany me into the tunnels. It is a sacred place, outsider. The tunnels lead to ritual chambers, the Musemouth plants, and to the spirit of the path, the Chronicle. Hopefully, my Guinevere was also somewhere inside.
Swift as lightning! Hunting greatness with the determination of her scene.
Look, on that platform. What's a forest wraith doing here? A muse mouth. It has a story to tell us, outsider. I can sense it. Examine the plant. My gift to you.
Tell us how to access the Chronicle, or this is your fate.
No! How could you?
Gwinnell. And the Chronicle. Did you see it too? The Spirit is trying to tell us something. That was neither story nor ancient history. The Chronicle showed us the recent past. That's never happened before. Yes, I saw it too. The Firesong Druid said something about accessing the Chronicle. Could that be what this is all about? But something we saw plagues me. The orb. That was the Chronicle. But the Spirit has never appeared in a vision before. Ifre's bones. What happened to the Chronicle? Outsider, this is the Chronicle. The spirit we commune with. But it's grown dark. Can you feel the anger radiating from it? The sadness? I don't like the looks of this. The Chronicle's always been more emotional than other nature spirits. It comprehends the experience of mortals and feels our emotions vicariously through the stories it shares. I've felt its calm, its joy, and even its grief. But this... Perhaps. But there's a depth to this emotion I've never felt before. It unnerves me. Let's hurry. My Gwinnell is in here somewhere, and my fear for her safety grows with every passing moment. The door is just over there. Another Musemouth plant. I sense the Chronicle has more to show us.
You refuse to give us Ifre's gift? Very well. We will just kill you and take the Chronicle.
We can't just give you the Chronicle. The spirit is bound to this sacred place.
Then we'll cut the Chronicle from the roots and... What's happening?
Spirit notes.
Spirit mode saved Gwinnell? But why do the Firesong want the Chronicle? The Chronicle blessed us with another vision. We saw the Firesong attack Eldertide, threaten us to gain possession of the Chronicle. All this bloodshed. That could explain why the spirit feels so guilty. But the moats, it saved Gwinnell. Nature spirits, especially ones as strong as the Chronicle, are known among the circles. While the Firesong rarely leave Ifilon, they've always been aware of our spirit. Some even traveled here to partake of its stories. Obviously, the Chronicle is capable of more than we ever gave it credit for. Recording and showing recent events, influencing the minds of people and animals. But why druids would want access to that kind of power, I can barely speculate. They want our sacred seed? Whatever for. It doesn't matter. If they wanted to learn more about the sacred seeds, then the Chronicle would be a good entity to ask. It must have stories from the age of the last Druid King.
Peace. For now.
The spirit motes are thick here, but I have an idea. Such a high concentration of spirit motes is dangerous. The blessing won't protect us from this. Worse, vines seal the doors beyond. I think I have an idea, though. The Musemouth plants in the room ahead are bloated, spewing out huge clouds of spirit motes. I can remove the vines that block the door, but I'm too old to withstand the motes in such concentrations. Luckily, I have a few vials of Y'ffre's rain. Purified water from a sacred waterfall. Gwinnell uses it to awaken those who sometimes get lost in the visions. The water causes Musemouth plants to shrink and close up for a time. Even ones bloated as much as these should react the same way. It worked. I knew it would. I'll clear the vine. What's happening over there? Those They're transforming into forest wraiths. How is that? Gwenaël. No, not you, please. Gwen. A forest wraith. No! My Gwenaël, my guiding light. We were so close to reaching her, and she slipped through my fingers. The spirit turned her into a forest wraith. Legends tell us that the Green and its spirits can summon forest wraiths to protect themselves. The Chronicle felt threatened, so it did the same. I'm not sure if this is how all forest wraiths are created, but we saw what the Chronicle did. Possibly. The Chronicle transformed Gwenaël into one of those things. It should be able to turn her back and return her to me. I know I've asked a lot of you, but please, come with me. We need to talk to the Chronicle. Convince it to release her. All right, outsider. Let's go find my Gwenaël and convince the Chronicle to transform her back into my beloved wife. The newly created wraiths went farther into the tunnels. We keep moving, and I'm sure we'll meet up with them shortly. As for recognizing my wife, she may be a creature of darkness now, but I know I'll be able to identify her when I see her.
Vala, keep your shame.
More bloated muse mouths? Use Ifre's rain on these as well.
I will watch over you. Watch yourself. me your claws! Barcinra. What are they thinking?
This way. I'll deal with the
Ready! It is over.
There! That's my Gwen just ahead. Gwenael.
Druids spill blood. No more druids in this story. No more.
Outsider, the Chronicle won't talk to me. You must convince it to let us go.
Druids attacked. Why spill blood on holy ground? Afraid, confused. Actions come as waves crashing against the shore. Story unclear. Till again, druids of the path attacked. Killed. Chronicle shocked. Angry. Spirit motes released. Cannot hold back the wind. Created wraiths grounds tainted, spirit unwell. The Chronicle must end. Use Ifray's rain on roots. Break bindings. Cleanse corruption. End the story. It is the only way. Pour the sacred water. Close the current book. End the anger, the sorrow, the mistakes. This is what the Chronicle wants. What the story needs. Please.
Please, Gwen. I know you're in there. Just hold on.
Last book to close. Pour the remaining water on the spirit orb.
Gwenelle, you're back.
Hitov? What happened?
Everything is fine, Gwenelle. Outsider, come. We owe you so much. I can hardly believe my eyes. My Gwenelle, as radiant as the day I first set eyes upon her. I thought I'd lost her. But the Chronicle, the spirit of the path, what a terrible price to pay to set things right. You did what it asked of you, what you had to do, but don't despair. I felt its anger slip away. Its intentions were pure, Outsider. Things just got out of hand. It was the actions of the Fire Song that tainted the spirit, corrupted it. It used its motes to try to stop the Fire Song, created the Wraiths to protect our home. But it knew it went too far. Like a bee whose sting causes its own death. It reacted in desperation. I hope it finds peace now, back in the green. Yes, Gwen is strong. She'll recover quickly. But she would have been lost to me without your help. Please, accept this. You ended a great danger and rescued my Gwenelle from a terrible fate. I just wish the Chronicle was still with us. We may have lost the Chronicle, but my Gwenelle is safe. And all because Ifray chose to send me an outsider. Life is strange, my friend. We'll rebuild. Ask more Eldertide to join us. For too long, we've relied on the Chronicle to show us our past, to tell us our stories. It's time for us to take responsibility for our own memories, I think. It will be, once the spirit motes disperse and the remaining Fire Song are driven off. Without a spirit, Gwen and I will become the Chroniclers. We'll remember and record our stories and our history. Share it with all who wish to hear.
Did all that really happen? The Fire Song, the Forest Wraiths.
The Chronicle saved you, in its own way.
It was angry. That much I remember. The bloodshed. Our friends.
We'll grieve for them, and for the Chronicle. We lost a lot this day.
The Chronicle is really gone?
Its final act was to release you, dear Gwen.
What now, husband?
Now, we thank Ifray and tell our own stories.